Okay, today we're going to talk about IP adapter for Comfyui using Pytorch 2.7 with CUDA 12.8 for the RTX 50 series GPU, which is not that big of a difference compared to any other Pytorch version and GPU model. This setup is using Stable Diffusion 1.5 with an RTX 5070 Ti, but the same logic with slight modifications can be applicable to SDXL as well. Whether you are using an RTX 5060, 5070, 5080 or 5090, it should all be applicable as well. If you are new to this channel and wish to learn more about Comfyui for the RTX 50 series GPU, be sure to check out my previous video on how to install Comfyui using Pytorch 2.7 with CUDA 12.8 for the RTX 50 series if you are having difficulty installing it in the first place. To start things off, I will explain what IPAdapter is in a simpler format because I am not very proficient in using IPAdapter, but it's still a great tool for your image generation purposes. IPAdapter stands for Image Prompt Adapter. Using it helps to generate images based on another image as a prompt, without the need for Controlnet. It takes reference from a character, scene or style from the reference image to use as a guide so you can make changes to your generation such as placing new elements in the image, changing the background of a character, or using a reference character with just one image without the need to train a LoRa. All this without much prompting to shape the image based on the reference image only. I hope this explains in simpler terms what IPAdapter does. There are more functions that can be done such as face reference, etc. I won't be going through it in detail as this is not a full IPAdapter tutorial. You can check out the full tutorial made by IPAdapter's creator, Matteo, to know more about its features. I will leave the links in the description below for you to check it out. Some things to note before we move on with the walkthrough. I am using something called the Efficiency Nodes custom nodes, which I'll leave the link in the description below if you need help installing it. These custom nodes serve to simplify some of the basic nodes used for Stable Diffusion. Thus, it will look quite different from the default setting that you will see in your default Comfyui image generation workflow. So I suggest checking out my other videos showing how to install and how to use them before continuing with this video if you are not familiar. With that out of the way, let's carry on with the setup. But before that, I would appreciate a like, comment and subscribe to help push this video to the right community who might find it useful. First, go to Comfyui Manager, Custom Nodes and search for IPAdapter. Install Comfyui IPAdapter Plus by the author Matteo. You might also want to check if you have any conflicting nodes before installing. At least you will know what kind of error that you might be expecting if you were to install something that is conflicted. Restart Comfyui and reboot the server. Once restarted, you can begin your setup of IPAdapter. You can ignore the rest of the workflow that I set up, which includes Controlnet and Face Detailer, which is not part of the focus for this video. Nonetheless, I will leave the links in the description below for you to see how it actually connects to the main workflow, just for completion's sake. Search for IPAdapter Unified Loader. Connect it to IPAdapter Tile, which is usually used for reference images of differing aspect ratios, or IPAdapter node if you are just using a simple square image which does not affect the focus of where the reference image is supposed to be. Here in the IPAdapter weight type, you can see various ways IPAdapter can reference an image, which includes linear, is out and in, etc. We will try out a few important ones, but you can test them out yourself to see which type suits your needs. With that, we are done with the basic setup of IPAdapter. Let's create a baseline without IPAdapter by prompting for a man. Here you can see that we shall put in a reference image for IPAdapter. For better results, it's important for you to use a good reference image with larger pixels for better reference. It's also better for you to include detailed prompts so that the output image will be better. But for the sake of testing whether the IP adapter is working or not, I will not be using any specific prompts in order to show you the effectiveness of IP adapter. Thus, I am only using one keyword of a man. Now we encounter our first error of the day, which is no IP adapter. You will simply connect the IP adapter from the unified loader into the IP adapter tile to make it work. Next, we will encounter our second error of the day, which is Click Vision model not found. In order to find a Click Vision model, you will go to IP Adapter Plus GitHub page, scroll down to the installation section, and download a few models. First is the Click Vision model for 32B, which is generally enough for most IP adapter work. Next is the IP adapter models, which there is quite a few for IP, or rather for SD 1.5 and SDXL, each with a simple explanation of its function. I have downloaded these models that you can see for my SD 1.5 and SDXL. You might not need all of them, especially if you are not using IP adapter phase models, which I won't be showing in detail for this video. Now, the last thing you need to do is to change the name of the Click Vision model to something that you can remember, because this might not be your only Click Vision model and you don't want to get mixed up with other Click Vision models when selecting the right ones that you need to use. So, place the Click Vision model into your main Comfyui folder, models, and Click Vision folder. Then place all your IP adapter models into the IP adapter folder. Click refresh and you are ready to go. Alternatively, for the Click Vision model, you can also go to the Comfyui manager, model manager, and search for Click Vision and download the same 32B model. Once that is done, click refresh and you should be able to see the selection of the load Click Vision node, which is connected to the IP adapter tile node. As I use an IP adapter plus with high strength, the image is heavily distorted. But this was generated with a single prompt word of a man, showing that the IP adapter is indeed doing its work as an image prompt. Let's use a medium strength setting instead to see what it will give us. The general idea of the sword, blonde hair, and purple hue is still present even with medium strength. You can also try using attention masking to see if there's a better focus on the character instead of referencing the additional information such as the background. Load another image and draw a mask to focus on the character rather than the background. Link the mask to attention mask and cue the prompt. You can also adjust the weight of the IP adapter to see if you can get better results. Next, you can try out style transfer, which will typically reference the style of the image rather than the overall character itself. I highly suggest you play around with all the choices you have, such as composition, style, and style transfer, precise. All these settings are a little too detailed for me to explain the differences, as I have limited knowledge on how it works, so it's best that you try out on your own to see which one suits your needs. Next, you can also input an image such as a forest and let the IP adapter run wild with what it can do in terms of style transfer. Here are some more examples with the beach resort image prompt, which will give me a similar image when I'm using linear weight type. And lastly, with a surfing image for a similar yet different image output. So these are some examples of what IPAdapter can do, and it definitely can do more than what I demonstrated, but the rest will be up to your own tinkering to see what are your image generation requirement needs. And this concludes our IPAdapter walkthrough for today. Take note that the images generated today are not meant to be high quality. It's just a demo of what the IP adapter can do. I will continue to refine the workflow as this is a very raw setup. I'll probably share it here on my YouTube channel once I get the hang of it with my RTX 5070 Ti, just for record keeping purposes. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to help push this video to the right community who might find it useful. Until then, I'll see you when I see you.